Hi everyone, welcome back to 10 Tenths. Today you join us at VSpec Performance for their open day. So for those of you who haven't heard of VSpec Performance before, they are one of Melbourne's premier Skyline and GTR specialists, not to mention owning a few rare Skylines themselves, the likes of the R400, the Z2 and R34, to name a few. So with that being said, let's go inside and take a look. So kicking things off, we have a pair of R32 GTRs, GTR standing for Gran Turismo Racer. The R32 GTR kickstarted the rebirth of the GTR, you could say. It's also where we saw the introduction of the famous RB26 engine. The car saw a lot of success in touring car racing here in Australia, with victories in the prestigious Bathurst 1000 and even in European Touring Car Series. It's very much a monster on track, which helped it earn its infamous nickname, Godzilla. And then we come up to the heart of all the beasts that we see here, the RB26 engine. So in base form, it's 2.6 liters, producing 276 horsepower with 260 pound-feet of torque. It's a cast iron engine block, and not forgetting a twin turbo setup from factory as well. Originally, the R32 GTR was planned to have a 2.4 liter RB24 engine and compete in the 4000cc Group A racing class. 4000cc because in Group A rules, the displacement is multiplied by 1.7 times if the engine is turbocharged. Fun fact, but once all-wheel drive had been added, they found it made the car heavier than expected, and as a result, much less competitive. So Nismo made the decision to make the engine a 2.6-liter twin-turbo instead, and compete in the higher 4500cc class, resulting in the RB26 that we know today. Nissan also sold an upgraded block called the N1, which was a popular upgrade as a bare block to race teams and the public, with larger steel turbochargers compared to the standard ceramic ones, which proved to be more reliable in racing conditions. Then over here we have the Nismo GTR R35. This car moved on from the RB26 engine and even the Skyline name designation, known as just the GTR, powered by the VR38 3.8 liter twin turbo V6. The R35 has been out for over a decade now, but is still very relevant in today's performance car market. Upgrades include new turbochargers from the GTR GT3 race car, which helped the car produce more than 600 horsepower. Never known for being a lightweight car, and with all this new power and speed, stopping power comes courtesy of carbon ceramic brakes as standard. And just next to it, we have a nurse spec R34. Based on the final model year of the R34, only 1,000 cars were produced in this spec. So this car came in two versions, the V-Spec Tuner, of which 718 cars were made, and then also 285 cars in M-Specner. So this car came with the N1 version of the RB26 engine. The speedo also goes up all the way to 300 kilometers an hour. So some interesting little touches about this car. The valve covers are painted gold instead of red, and also gold wind plates instead of blue. So very much a sought after version of the R34, being the last batch of cars being produced. Then we also have standard R34 V-Spec here, which you could say is the base version of, if you could put it that way, of all the modified R34s you can see here. So if a car like this would usually fetch about $150,000 on the Australian car market. So yes, a very clean example here, and nice to see. And then we have one of the very special Skylines that are hanging around here, the HKS 0R, just one of only 4 cars ever made. Built by HKS, think of it as the roof equivalent to Nissan. Only one car was officially sold, and that was to the Sultan of Brunei, of course. Built it with the intention of being sold, it was abandoned by HKS when plans to homologate it for road use quickly proved become very expensive, especially with the crash testing required. The 4 built cars were held by the factory until 2006, when they were able to sell them to customers due to less strict legal requirements, so they could effectively sell the car as a modified Skyline R32. And around the rear you can see that it's very much a different car to the standard R32, completely different rear bumper and higher mounted twin exit exhaust. The car also comes fitted with one-off magnesium alloy lightweight wheels that were specially made for the 0R by Italian wheel maker Tecno Magnesio. You won't find any Nissan badges anywhere on this car. This is a complete HKS rebuilt machine with a completely reworked rear wing, as you can see. So a lot of work was done by HKS to make this car more aerodynamic, I guess you could say. And then we also have the Mainz R34 GTR, one of 3 built. The general design of the front stock diffuser was retained and created in carbon fiber to shave weight. Same with the rear spoiler and wing stays. Thanks to carbon fiber construction, much lighter. the M3 style wing mirrors, you could say, helping to reduce drag, and again use carbon fiber to match the other composite details around the car. Fully built RB26 engine based on the toughened N1 block, as I mentioned before. So boost is developed by modified HKS turbos, and the end result is claimed to be 591 horsepower. And another GTR R34 worth mentioning is this very menacing looking Tommy Kahra RZ, based on a V-Spec 2 chassis. It's one of only 11 cars made, and the only one in Australia. It produces 530 horsepower, thanks to a number of Tommy Kahra developed parts, such as enhanced engine mounts, special turbine kit, RZ exclusive sports front pipe, to name a few, RZ dedicated ECU, Tommy Kahra high capacity intercoolers. So highly developed version of the GTR R34 by Tommy Kahra in Japan. This car is very unique to see and has quite some presence compared to the other R34 GTRs here. So very cool, again very aggressive looking, and yeah, really nice to see this here. And then we come up to these two taking center stage here at V-Spec Performance. So let's dive right in. Then here we have the Nismo 400R, based on the R33 GTR, of which only 44 cars were built. This is chassis number 7. So comprehensive were the changes that were made to its engine that it received its own code, the RBX GT2, which was upgraded from 2.6 to 2.8 liters, in making 400 horsepower, hence the 400R name. Think of it as the closest interpretation to the R33 LM race car. So this car was offered with optional HID systems from the LM race car as well. For when you would have been driving in the middle of the night down the Mulsanne Straight, those would have come in handy. It's also got a carbon fiber bonnet and a titanium strut brace under there as well. Moving around to the side of the car, we see it features a 3-piece LM GT1 wheels, fitted with upgraded Alcon brake pads over the standard Brembos. It's also got a carbon fiber propeller shaft under there, with a twin play clutch, a torque vectoring active LSD as well, with electronically controlled 4-wheel steering. So looking inside, you can see the titanium shift knob taking center stage there. And around the back we have a titanium exhaust as well, to really help with the note produced by the RBX GT2 engine. And then let's move on to this thing, possibly everyone's favorite GTR 34 here today, the Z-Tune. So of which only 20 cars were made to celebrate 20 years of Nismo. So this one is Z-Tune chassis number 15. They only came in one color, Z-Tune Silver, but this car had been sent back to Nissan's Amori factory in Japan, where it was respayed to Midnight Purple 3, and the interior reupholstered as well. This car also uses the 2.8 liter RB28 engine, known as the Z2 engine here, which is the block based on the GT500 race car. The Z-Tunes also feature new IHI turbos that bring it up all the way to 493 horsepower. Towards the rear of the car, other than the massive rear spoiler, the Z-Tunes had to ditch the rear diffuser found on regular R34s due to the beefy gearbox and diff oil cooler, which was present underneath. The Z-Tunes also feature forged LM GT4 wheels made by Rays, and as well as bespoke SAC suspension that helped to make this car a real track monster. So thanks very much again to V-Spec Performance for putting on this open day today, and for letting us get up close with these very amazing skylines. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as well. So make sure to click on the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that really helps out the channel, and the notification bell so you don't miss when the next video comes out. So until then, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.